Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Price of Bitcoin currently at 53.85. So yesterday I spoke about looking at this right here as a potential inverse head and shoulders, but I also said that for an inverse head and shoulders to be validated, it must actually smash through the neckline with high volume and convincing candle spread and confirmation, right? So what that means is you can't just go like this on the right shoulder, keep hugging that trend line over and over again, that neckline. So this kind of tells me that this is essentially so far a failed breakout. Okay. And so what we could do with this failed breakout is we could start looking for short opportunities now. So anywhere on this trend line right here, whenever price comes back to it, or even now if you want, you could potentially short it. Again, no investment advice, but I'm just letting you guys know these are the opportunities that you have right now. I don't see any long opportunities. It's very possible that somewhere, randomly we'll get a big spike up, but I don't know. I find that very unlikely because the real chance was to build off this momentum right here. And clearly, Bitcoin failed to do that. So far, what we've really done is created lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, all the way down. Okay. So I would probably say that this is a better shorting opportunity than it is a longing opportunity. You might probably get to target these lows right here as your first target on your short. So that's anywhere between about 48.75 down to this wick low around 47.30 or so. That's one option. Okay, another option is way down here around $4,300. And the reason I say 4,300, okay, is because if you look over here on the daily candle, right, this candle, the open of this candle was about 43.46. Okay, so I think it's very possible that we go back at least to the daily open right there because, this candle closed right there, this candle opened and refused to close any lower. Or rather open any lower. So that kind of tells me that um, this is probably a good base that there's a lot of people who are going to defend this area. And if that breaks, obviously we can look for this $3,600 low or lower lows. Okay. Um, I don't really see anything aside from that in terms of opportunities. I do potentially see, further breakdown, to be honest. It's very hard to look at this chart and say that we've done anything special. As I explained on the 15-minute time frame the other day, right? If you look at this chart, I mean, this was the previous. What is it right there? This was the previous trading range right here, right? When we were over here between 6,300 and $5,600, we kind of just traded here and here, and then we just kind of smashed right through, and then we went all the way to $3,600, came back, tested that same bottom of the trading range as resistance. Okay, so I think it's become abundantly clear that supply is kind of just waiting here, and it's very hard to get past it. Okay, very hard. Okay, at least right now it is. Okay, um, so I would probably say that, whether you want to sell the neckline or sell the bottom of this trading range, I think both are pretty viable options for potentially shorting. Okay, if we also look at the S&P 500, and again, Faisal and I will today probably put out an equities video, so you can look at this from the technical perspective and the fundamentals of what's happening in the world, and you can gauge what Bitcoin is potentially going to do. Okay, but in terms of equities and S&P 500, I think what's really clear is that this was the previous support right there in March and then May 2019, and then all we've really done is smash into that as resistance. So we haven't cleared the resistance, and even though yesterday um, the candle closed really nicely, but like I said, all we really did was smash into resistance. Okay, so if anything, sellers are probably loading up right here and getting ready to push this thing down coming next week. Now it's very possible that maybe some catalytical news events really propel this higher, but until this key area right here gets broken to the upside convincingly, not just a wick on a 1 hour and then this thing starts sliding down again. It needs like a definitive daily close above this area. It's very possible that we could still come back down. And the key support to come back down to is 2018 bottom in the S&P 500, and that's around 2350, which I've said before would be the bottom of potentially 2018 for Bitcoin around $3,100. Okay, maybe even lower. Because like I said before, if we start throwing on the pivots and you just want to be trading off pivots, okay. So if I turn off the historical, you can see right now, the S4 right now is around $4,300. Okay, so that makes sense that if you're targeting a short, you should aim for the S4, which also happens to be right around that daily open from yesterday. And then you can also aim for the S5 if we start breaking past this area, and that's around 29.27. Okay, so those are the levels you can look out for. For the most part, I would probably urge you to stay away from weekend trading. More than likely, you're going to get chopped up, make mistakes, and lose your capital. It's just a fact, folks. It's low volume environments, even more so low volume and low liquidity than what we're already facing. So it just might be wise to stay away. If not, if you really feel the urge to trade, like I said, you have potential short opportunities setting up. You can short anywhere along this trend line, but your stop will have to be up here, 5,900, or a deep stop up here around $6,300. So you may have to size down. All right, that is it. Thank you, and enjoy your Saturday. Cheers.